So I was a pharmacy student, not a marketer, not a guru, and not someone who escaped the 9 to 5 because I never had one, but I knew that I didn't want one. But I built businesses to 10k a month online, and here's the exact system I did, right, or how I did that. So 4 years ago, I started tutoring GCSE students from my bedroom. No audience, no email list, no course, just me and my phone camera. And today that business has taught over 400 paying students. And in this video, I'm going to give you the exact advice, right? Not the generic provide value and be consistent nonsense that you've heard 500 times before you can get from any other video on YouTube. I'm going to give you the exact system I used to go from zero to a business that can run without me, right? That doesn't need me stood in front of the whiteboard all day teaching, and how I'm using that system today to repeat for other businesses that I've used, right? To help teachers to achieve the same thing and helping coaches start their first 10k a month. So if you've watched like 5 of these make money online videos and you still have 0 clients, and this one hopefully should be a little bit different because I'm going to show you the actual mechanics behind it and not just mindset fluff and, you know, believe in your goals and law of like attraction and that sort of thing. So let's talk about why you're actually stuck first. So when no one tells you about the make 10k a month space, the space that I'm in myself, right, is that most people that are chasing this number are stuck for one reason. And it's not a lack of effort. It's not a lack of content, but they're stuck because they're selling to the wrong temperature or person. Now, I made this mistake myself in my own coaching offer that I started for teachers, where I helped them to start a tutoring business. And I had DMs flooding in constantly, dozens of messages a week, right? Dozens of conversations a week, and almost none of them converted. And that wasn't because my offer was bad, but because I was talking to curious people and not committed people. What's the difference? Curious people will ask you, right, how does this work? But committed people will just ask you straight up, when can we start? And if your funnel at the moment is like how mine was at the start, if it was full of the first type of people, well, you can post every single day for a year and still be broke. And this is the part that everyone skips. And because fixing your qualification doesn't convert like a 5 a.m. morning routine would convert. And that's the important part, right? And here's a system that we're going to talk about today. So it's broken into 3 parts: proof, filtering, and closing. So with the proof, right, you don't need a massive personal brand with 100k followers to make 10k a month. You just need one undeniable result that you can point out to. So mine was helping 400 plus students and having like, you know, hundreds of reviews to go with it, right? And that's it. These testimonials I had, that was the whole authority that I needed. So if you're a coach, your proof isn't your Instagram following. It's the results that you provided on other people, right? It's the outcome you've helped them achieve. And that is worth more than any follower count. And most people undersell this because they think that the proof has to be flashy, but it doesn't. It just has to be specific and real. And your content should also, like, it should always start with giving some sort of proof, right? Or results that you've given to people. So tell people what you can do for them in your content and give the secrets away for free to prove your credibility and show off your knowledge, show off what you know, and show that you're the expert that they're looking for. And the second part is the filter part, right? And this is the part that breaks the 10k a month. And it's a part that nobody talks about really. So you need a filter between them being interested to booking a sales call with you. And this is where I went wrong a lot of the time when I started off, right? This was a big mistake I made. So now mine at the moment for my coaching businesses look like this. So someone DMs me a keyword and then they get added to a WhatsApp group. Not like a random freebie funnel, right? But an actual community where they can see other people's results and how other people succeeded. And only after they've engaged with our group, then we're invited to a conversation and then a call. And that single step removes all the time wasters and tire kickers before they ever waste your time, right? So compare that to the standard advice of just putting like a Calendly link in your bio where you're waiting for other people to kind of like do the steps, right? That way you'll end up doing 20 calls to like close one person instead of 5 calls to, you know, close 3. And I've been there before. But I believe the more steps that people go through, the more qualified the lead is, right? And if you're charging high prices or high ticket prices, you don't want to be on calls with people all day who are going to waste your time and not committed. And I've been there before. So more steps they go through, the better qualified they are. But low ticket's fine too, right? So you can simply do a simple funnel where you send your traffic from the content to a landing page, and that's it. And people can buy from that page. So content to a simple page. And people in school are making 100k a month, but it does require like high volumes, to be prepared for that. And the last part is the closing. So we close on 2 calls and not once. So the first call is a diagnosing call, right? Where you're not pitching here, but you're diagnosing the problems that they have, right? You're breaking down what's going wrong. And then the second call is where you're closing. So the first call, you might come up with a full, complete roadmap where you're telling them exactly what to do and giving them actionable steps. So between the time of that call and your next call, you're giving them an action plan of what they can do, and they can realize you know what you're talking about at that point, right? And that's it. The second call after that, you at the end of the first call, the discovery call, where you're breaking down the beliefs and you're breaking down. I feel personally this would work best for me because I didn't feel comfortable at the start. Maybe it was a lack of sales skills at the start, to be fair, where I couldn't close on a call as well. Now you could do it on a first call, but I really believe in building trust for all your clients, and it becomes much easier to work with, right? So, you know, if you can just build trust on the first call or in between them, because you're not trying to sell them or pitch them straight away. Instead, what you're doing is the first call is diagnostic, where you're coming up with all the problems, you're addressing all the problems they have. You're telling them like where they've gone wrong, where they've tried so far, so they can relate to you. And then after that, you're basically going to just book a second call after it. You're going to agree to book a second call after the first one, and then you can hop on that and then sell them your program. You pitch them, right, based on the problems that they have. But with this, you have to just understand that you can charge high prices just by doing this. Like if you've got £1,000 offer or $1,000 offer, you just need to sell to 10 people a month, right? And through content, realistically, you can achieve this. Now, I always say, right, if you can get 1,000 views a day, and that's across all platforms, realistically, 1,000 unique eyeballs over posting 3 to 5 times a day, then at the end of the month, you can get like 30,000 views, right? And some videos will pop off more. So if you can get between 30,000 and 50,000 views in a month, how hard would it be to convert 10 of those people? It's not as bad as you think, right? So charging high prices would work for you. But on the other hand, if you were charging low ticket, like a $30, digital product, you've got to sell 300 people a month consistently. It's not the meta, right? It's not what you want to do. Now, what people don't understand as well is the unglamorous side of it. So for me to make this work, for me to get to my first 10K a month, it took hours and hours of repetition and doing the boring tasks, right? And you have to really think to yourself, what kind of inputs would I need to put in to make it unreasonable for me to fail, right? Like, how do I make it impossible to fail? What kind of level of work we need to put in? How many reels will you post today? How much content are you putting out there? How many DMs are you sending to your ideal avatar? How often are you tweaking your offer, right? Now come up with your offer and put it in front of as many types of people as you can through DMs or through sales calls, and you'll realize what you need to tweak. And that's it, right? That's really the key here. And what we want to come up with is what I call a Godfather offer, right? So if you've seen the movie The Godfather with this guy, what he does in The Godfather is he says he has an offer that's so good that can't be refused. And that's the principle behind this, right? Imagine you could give someone an offer and they don't want to say no to that offer. It has to be hella good, doesn't it? Now, that's the principle here. So we're going to come up with a perfect offer or a Godfather offer and just put that in front of as many people as possible. And that's how we sell, right? That's how we make so much money through online coaching. Now, another thing to remember is, like I said before, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of this, right? And especially at a beginner stage, you have to understand that volume negates luck. And you'll hear Alex Hormozi saying this: volume negates luck. The volume that you put in at the start has to be crazy. And then once you have the skill, you can repeat this again and again and again to find success in other businesses that can make you 10K a month, right? So this is all a skill, right? And you need to put as much volume out there to learn that skill better, to learn the skill of making money through content better. And it's achievable. And you can build an expert business where you're coaching your passion around this and easily sell 10 people a month at £1,000 or $1,000 to make your first 10K a month. And you need to really understand that the volume you need to put in is unreasonable, like a crazy amount of work, especially when you're starting off with, and understand that that's you can't expect the income without putting that level of work with. So in terms of actionable things you can do after watching this video, what I want you to do is write down just one result that you can provide to people, right? One result that you can prove with a number attached. Not I'm passionate about doing this or with fitness or weight loss. No, that I've helped X people achieve Y, something specific, right? And telling how many people you've helped. And then you're going to build a one filter step between the attention, right? The traffic that you're getting and your calendar. So maybe booking a keyword or commenting a keyword or a short application form, a community, anything with a bit of friction between finding you and booking a call. So something with friction in between, such as those things we talked about. And then you're going to set your price based on how many clients you can actually serve well and not just what feels safe to charge. And then you're going to come up, so I want you to do these things, right? I want you to come up with 50 content ideas around the pain that your problem feels, the pain that your ideal client feels, and the problems that they have. So what problems does your ideal client face? And then you're going to address them with your own unique spin and your own expert knowledge. So whatever niche you have, right, whatever problems your ideal avatar is going to face, think of the problems they have and your unique solutions to those problems. And that's your action plan, and try those things. Now, if you've thought about this, if you've thought about making an online business or making an online income, or if you're sick of your 9 to 5 and you want to start making money online, teaching something that you actually love with a coaching business or something you actually enjoy, then I want you to message me on Instagram. And my Instagram will be in this video, but if it's not like attached here, if I've forgotten to do that, then it's 100% going to be in the link in the bio. So if you just check my bio out, my Instagram handle will be there. And I want you to reach out, and I would love to network with you. Not to really sell you anything, but just to kind of have a chat, right? And maybe we can bounce ideas off each other. We can come up with a roadmap for you to get you started with your first few clients. But if you just reach out on Insta, I'd be happy to network with you and just kind of understand where you're at now, and you know where your problems are, what you're struggling with at the moment. If you're trying to start an online coaching business, or if you've thought about it before, or if you are trying but it's not working, I can help you out with some advice, and maybe you can learn from each other. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram.